Alyssa Mercante loves to be the center of attention, and over the past few days, she has been facing a whirlwind of backlash on social media over her Frosk 2.0 level rant, where she issued an open challenge to any content creator who wanted to fight her. And while, of course, some of us were serious about setting up a professional level event, she seemingly isn't, because she has tried her very best to wiggle her way out of the situation and has declined every single opportunity to actually make this happen, proving that she is an absolute lunatic. I have a few different things to show off, but if you enjoy the content I create, make sure to follow me on social media, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, this has been unraveling over the past couple of days. Primarily, it started because Alyssa Mercante months ago put up an article titled "Sweet Babying Doesn't Do What You Think It Does," which of course is a complete and utter lie. They do exactly what you believe they do. They are affecting video games, and they do push narratives into video games if they help with things like storytelling. That is the only reason why those companies exist, and she has inserted herself into the middle of the culture war, and she's constantly putting out her bad takes on social media, and people roast her. But then she was at a Summer Games Fest type event where she was watching the event and reacting to it on the Giant Bomb YouTube channel, and she went on a Frosk level rant, basically admitting that she hates gamers, she thinks we're all pussies, and she has issued an open challenge to anyone who wanted to fight her. Now, of course, I did cover some of this in a previous video, will be linked down below, but I had simply said, I can't hit her up because she's hiding behind a block, so send me a DM, let's talk match details, and I even specified maybe, we could do it, winner gets 1,000, loser has to put up content publicly announcing their loss, an article from you, a video from me, and maybe 3 months for a venue and train. It's not easy to set up a serious event like this, and it would take a lot of time. And instead of simply saying, yes, let's do it because it's exactly what she wanted, she tried to spin it, instantly saying, no prize money, charity only, which I worded that initial tweet kind of poorly, I suppose, because of course the 1,000, I think in most cases, yes, would go to a charity. All of the, content creator-esque boxing matches, the money has gone to charity, so of course that was my intention. But she also said, you can't stream it for your bigot viewers, which right there is a major turnoff. I am a content creator who wants my audience to see an event that I am a part of, and she should honestly want the same exact thing. If she's putting her reputation on the line, why wouldn't you want people to watch it? She clearly just wanted to beat somebody up and be able to prove she's a tough guy, but Keemstar actually had made a tweet saying, Dear Alyssa and Vara, Happy Punch will help you set up your fight, and instantly, only minutes after he posted this, she said, I'm not giving you any money, thanks. So she straight away declined this major opportunity. So she instantly backed down because she didn't want it streamed to my, quote, bigot fans. Then, of course, Keemstar, someone who's reputable and has set up fights before on a professional level, offered, and she said no way. So I asked Alyssa, do you have some kind of connections to set up an event like this? No, Keemstar does though, but she refused. She didn't want this to happen, backing down instantly. And then, of course, after a bunch of time and kind of back and forth messages, her trying to act all tough, showing her muscles, saying things like she doesn't even need to train, she decided to block me yet again. And keep in mind, she had unblocked me for a short amount of time to talk and respond, and then she blocked me again. She absolutely has no backbone whatsoever. She is a mentally unstable nut job. Only nut jobs do blocking, then unblocking, blocking, then unblocking. But she actually also decided to allude to a street fight. Even just with the little bit of information I've already told you, you can tell that she is an absolute lunatic. I mean, these are not things that normal people do. They don't play this block and unblock game. They don't threaten people. And even with her initial video, like the initial Frosk 2.0 rant, I think it's hilarious because it's constantly rules for thee, but not for me with her. I'm not against people, calling others pussies or little bitches, but those have been deemed sexist and offensive by her ilk. So don't you think someone championing against these things wouldn't use them? Like nothing adds up with Alyssa. At this point, I can only figure out one explanation for her behavior, and that is that she is going through a tough time. And you know what, Alyssa, human being to human being, I hope you get better. I hope you, succeed with all your endeavors. But my God, get some help. I had made a tweet saying I was totally interested in a live streamed sanctioned match, but now she's just evolved into threatening me with an illegal street fight. She said, I don't need any of this to be on camera. We could just meet up if you'd prefer. And of course, she backtracked and said, oh no, that's not what I meant, because she was taking a lot of heat over this. So she, of course, is just yapping on social media, trying her best to act tough while also cover her tracks, because now we've gotten into a situation where she is threatening people. I have taken this as a threat of an illegal street fight. Maybe this isn't what she meant and she worded it poorly and she's being genuine, but I have absolutely no trust and no faith in Alyssa, and nobody else should at this point. But then, after 9 to 10 hours of having me blocked overnight, she decided to get in my DMs and blow up. She was saying things. I, of course, posted them publicly because she wanted this to be public, saying you make money off of clout chasing and rage baiting. I make money off of educating consumers. I tell you guys about predatory monetization that's happening in the industry, games that do have forced narratives and diversity behind them. Of course, natural diversity and inclusion is perfectly fine, but we know that it is being forced into games for the sake of ESG, and that's just not acceptable to a lot of people. I also think that it's hilarious that people like Alyssa refuse to acknowledge the fact that I am primarily a gaming streamer. I stream 20 to 25 plus hours a week of video games. Right now I'm streaming Elden Ring. I've streamed Little Kitty Big City. I've streamed Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm going to be streaming Shadow of the Erdtree. I'm even going to be playing games I'm not generally excited for, like Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows, because I'm giving games a chance. This is my job. But of course, she just boils it down to rage baiting, simply because one part of the content that I make is videos. Even though she does the same exact thing, she rage baits in her articles, like her sweet babying doesn't do what you think it does article. She also says charitable causes only, ticket sales included. I wasn't doing this to make money. She is the one who issued this like public challenge and was acting like a big shot. But at the same time, if I was to do an event like this, I want my audience to see it. And I block you and others like your ilk because you all use my social media posts as content. So it's a little hurdle I like to make you have to jump over. Of course, she's really, really narcissistic here. She also says Keemstar makes money off of promoting boxing matches, and he's also a piece of shit just like you. Would you be in agreement to letting Hassan host it? Be so for real. And I am so for real. If she said she wanted Hassan there, I'd be like, okay, that's perfectly fine, because I am someone who doesn't instantly block people and ignore people just because I disagree with something like their political opinions. And I said this to her. This is my last message to her. It's all I'm going to say to her. It's all she's going to get out of me at this point, because she's clearly not serious and just trying to farm for attention. I said, if you had actually been serious, I would have said, cut that shit straight down the middle. You can get content creators with your political opinions that you like to film, like Hassan. She could have Hassan there. I'd get mine. You can have your sponsors. I can have mine. You can donate to a trans charity and I could donate to one of my choice, but I'm over your back and forth BS. I don't play this game of blocking and unblocking people I don't like. And if you look at my block list, I have absolutely no one blocked because I don't believe in it. That's just my take. If she wanted to have me blocked, if she hates me so much, she's perfectly fine to do that. She can block me, but the blocking and the unblocking is just a childish game that I personally don't want to play. You either want to talk to me or you don't want to talk to me. You want to see my posts or you don't want to see my posts. I also said you had a chance at a professional level event being set up and said no instantly. You rejected my stipulations from the start because you didn't want me streaming it to my quote bigot viewers. Then you said you're a busy gal working. Get back to writing game guides then, because working your hardest isn't getting you far. I put up more content in a week than you put up in a month, and it's so true. I never see Alyssa posting any content except her little selfies with Jeff Keighley and maybe one or two articles a month. And I get that she is a Kotaku editor, so that is also part of her job, but she still was writing for them. And she doesn't actually really post about Kotaku. She simply posts about all of the different situations she's gotten herself into, all of the drama that she has stirred up, and there are tons of people now just straight up laughing at her. Mark Kern had made a thread saying Alyssa backs down from a fight she demanded as soon as Vara accepts her challenge, refuses a fight, refuses Keemstar free venue, creates more conditions and stipulations, and goes back to claiming she's too busy creating content to fight. She also said just today that, oh, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I have work to do. And she's been tweeting. Like, come on, if you're working, that's perfectly fine. If we were DMing back and forth and she said, hey, I've got to AFK for a while, I'll get back to your thread later, I'd be like, okay, because I can actually have a conversation, a civil conversation with someone that I don't like, but clearly she cannot. And even Endyman is saying, Alyssa, I'll fight you. I'll even identify as a woman the entire time. People are liking that. Smash JT also posted, is anyone really surprised? Shout out for stepping up to the plate and exposing this absolute joke. If she had been serious and was like, oh, yeah, I can definitely get something together, that would have been one thing. But at this point, it's not going to happen. And she's clearly just talking a big game in order to try, I suppose, to get her social media following up, which I'm just going to point out that thank you, Alyssa, for helping me get my Twitter/X account to 20,000 followers. All of you new followers, the ones who have been here for a while, I really appreciate your support. I really appreciate you being here. It is absolutely fantastic to have an audience filled with passionate people. And hey, maybe one day Alyssa will change. Maybe one day Alyssa will want to have a civil conversation. But at this point in time, there's nothing that I would do in terms of any sort of communication with Alyssa. I wouldn't do a boxing match with her at this point unless she actually sat down and had a civil conversation. But at this point, I would also like her to go on an interview/discussion with me to actually debate her points about the video game industry. I don't think that's too much to ask. I think that is a very fair ask. She, of course, could afterwards write an article on Kotaku about it, and I could make a video on it. We could live stream it so it can't be edited. Everything is in real time, but of course, she's not going to hit me up on that offer. So it will be interesting to see if she challenges anyone else, if she accepts anyone else's challenges. Of course, if she blocks and unblocks me a bunch of more times. But for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.